Well, Bloomberg Television has had the privilege of interviewing Bill Gates a number of times this year. And back in January, he told me that by 2035, he believes we're going to have less than 10 impoverished countries around the world. He also outlined his desire for the world's wealthy to join the cause.
When I was born, almost all countries were poor. Now we're down to about a quarter of them. So the next 20 years, if we focus on it, we can make it really, really exceptional. Despite how bad we feel about what's not yet done, we have some approaches that work, and the cynicism is holding us back.
Well, someone who is not a cynic, who is trying to help the world, is none other than Carlos Slim. He's a fellow billionaire philanthropist whose fortune from telecom assets in Mexico has allowed him to fund causes from better health care for women to creating jobs for the world's poor. Carlos Slim joining me, the founder, of course, of America Mobile. Carlos, great to have you here in the studio with us. Also joining us alongside Carlos Slim is Anthony Shriver. He's the founder of Best Buddies, to talk about their fresh efforts to employ those with intellectual and developmental disabilities. Anthony, great to have you here as well. Now, you and I were just talking off camera a few moments ago. You two have been in partnership on Best Buddies for the last 12 years. How did you two meet?
It's a long story, but it's amazing he's still my friend after 12 years. Most people run away from me very quickly. But we met actually down in Mexico City. I was down there on a couple different projects and approached actually his son-in-law, who was very interested in what we were doing for people with intellectual disabilities. And then, unfortunately for Carlos, introduced me to Carlos, and I haven't let him go for 12 years. So it's been a great friendship, though.
He met the president of the foundation, and we liked the program immediately. And that's why we met, and that's why we work since the first moment together.
And why did you like this program? What was it about this program that hires people with disabilities? Why is that important for you?
Well, I think that is not with disabilities. Sometimes it's different abilities. You have people with dyslexia that are people outstanding. Many of them are outstanding because they have problems for something, but they develop other abilities. Or people that is blind, or people that is deaf, and autism is very important. So we think that it's very important that all people get involved in the society, get integrated for different reasons.
And you have hired people through this program that Anthony Shriver founded,
Well,
right?
first we invite our scholarships to be the best body of some people with different abilities, and it was very positive, the reaction of the college people, of the college young people, to get involved in the program, and that's the way we have worked in the last 12 years.
Anthony, are there other companies that you're targeting right now to join in on your program? I mean, who has signed up here?
Well, we've targeted every company. That's really the goal of I'm In to Hire, is to try to throw the web very, very large to show people that someone like Carlos, who has every opportunity in the world, is interested and engaged in including and creating a diverse workforce, and realize the business benefits of a diverse workforce. So I think with his leadership, other companies will follow, and there's no limit to what we want to do. So, there's almost 5 million people with intellectual disabilities unemployed in the United States. So it's a gigantic population of people that need jobs, need inclusive jobs, and jobs that are well-paying jobs where they can support and sustain themselves independently in the community on a year-to-year basis.
I think it's not only companies, also governments should hire people with different abilities. Government in all the levels, federal government, state government, city government, is very important that people
all big
find
employers, essentially, right?
Yes. Big and medium and small, everyone.
Everybody.
Yes.
And Carlos, this is in keeping with, I believe, your philosophy in giving, which is that you want to give to organizations that create jobs, right? You respect other people who give to organizations that fight disease or poverty, but you want to create jobs with your giving. Is that right?
I think both things are very important.
Okay.
It's very important to create and develop human capital. That is health and education. Education is the main issue also. But when you have education and health, okay, you finish only with poverty, only with employment. Is the last solution. I think the problems of today are this both, education and employment.
Right.
Education of high quality, and not only academic education, but education for work, training, capacitation, learning different areas where work is available or is developing.
Because that's a big issue in Mexico,
That's
right?
the big issue worldwide.
Worldwide, in Mexico,
We saw
access to
Europe that has big problems of unemployment. It should be solved. And the only way to solve poverty with dignity is with employment. And good employment, like Anthony is telling.
Well, because I've always been curious about this, Carlos, and we've met a couple of times. I met you once at the Clinton Global Initiative, in fact, and I know you're very close to the Clintons. You've talked before about how you have your own distinct way of giving. You haven't signed on, for instance, to Warren Buffett or Bill Gates and their giving pledge. They have a different philosophy.
When we have a project, we put all the money that is necessary. We don't make budgets. How can we solve the problem? How can we have national impact? How we can have a big impact? But we are very highly involved in health. We have an Institute of Health. We are making research in genetics, but also we work in the area, in the field, in the places, in the rural areas, and looking how to bring better health there in these places.
But you haven't signed on. You've worked with Buffett or Gates?
I don't used to sign this kind of agreements. I don't understand why to do it. Why 50, not 30 or 80 or 100?
Right.
What you need to do is solve problems, not to get, not to give away only, but to try to make it happen. I think that businessmen have the resources and the experience to get involved personally in the solution of the problems. It's not a matter of giving, it's a matter of acting and being involved in the solution.
Anthony, what's it been like to have a Carlos Slim join your initiative? I mean, how did it ramp up after he joined?
Well, it's been great, huge. I mean, I think so many people in the world tend to follow the leader.
Yeah.
As a general rule, and I think.
And who else but the leader
right,
here?
So he's sort of one of the great leaders.
The leader here is Anthony.
Which is what we were kidding before. He keeps saying how good I like to change jobs with him and see how well we do.
It's not bad idea
yeah,
to change
jobs. I think my lucky day.
Well,
but it's been great for us and great for our movement and extremely helpful.
Well, speaking about being a leader, I mean, Carlos, we've got to talk a little bit of business. You've been the leader in the telecoms market in Mexico, and of course, the Mexican president has instituted reforms.
We're in 28 countries.
You are, yes.
In 28 countries. In most of Latin America. In U.S., we have a important operation. And now we are get involved in Europe also.
Well, we were talking earlier about splitting up companies in the U.S., HP and eBay splitting up. And I know in Mexico there's reforms, and you're anticipating splitting up América Móvil. It's actually helped your stock price. It's actually been a benefit, it seems. Shareholders are applauding this breakup.
Well, it's a recuperation of value. It's not. It's only the until now. It's the recuperation of the value that have lost in the past.
In the past. Do you support this? Do you support the reforms that have been taking place in Mexico?
Well, I think that 2 years ago, 1 year and a half ago, the Constitution was changed. So what you need in business is clear rules. And the rule that was put in place is that the market share should be until 50%.
Right.
It's okay. What you need in business is rules and the state of law. And if you have some regulations that is a mandate of law, you should do that.
Well, in this complying with the rules, I know América Móvil has been in talks with various parties about buying up its assets on the east coast of Mexico. Have you been negotiating with AT&T, for instance?
It's not East Coast.
It's not?
The East Coast. It's something more bigger. It go to the West Coast and the border, and
it's a bigger package of assets.
Well, it's the package that is we think is the right to be done, but always we are working with the potential buyers to have an agreement.
And
the bank is doing the job, and the bank is working on that to have the information available to make the corporations that are interested and to get involved on that.
And are you closer?
That's what I can tell you.
Are you closest to the deal with AT&T?
That's what I can tell you.
That's all you can tell me. All right. On one final front, Carlos, I know you had Mark Zuckerberg for the first time in Mexico recently. Isn't that right?
Yes, we were very happy with his presence. He was. We have every year a meeting, a conference with 10,000 scholarships. That we have 18,000, but they go 10,000 in the place in the National Auditorium. And he was very, very nice, and we were very happy that he was there in Mexico.
What did the two of you talk about specifically?
A few things. Well, both have many how you say, inquietudes, things in common, like give internet access to everyone.
Right.
That's what we are working from a few years in the Broadband Commission of ITU of the United Nations. Mm-hmm. Broadband access to all, that's one of the points. And education and other issues that are very important for this new society of knowledge and technology.
Well, as he said, he said he grew up admiring Bill Gates, but I think he's going to use Carlos Slim now as his role model. You know?
He's a really outstanding person, and his wife is also very special people.
Yes, indeed. And Anthony, of course, Facebook and other big companies, of course, would be great signing on to you.
Absolutely. Hopefully, Mark Zuckerberg will get the hint from him and start hiring at Facebook. We're trying to get in there. We haven't had success, but maybe now.
All right. Anthony, thank you so much. Anthony Stryver of Best Buddies. And thank you, Carlos Slim, for joining me as well. Carlos Slim in the studio here.